Hello and welcome, Matrix users. Today's session we'll be discussing the new status added to Matrix, coming soon. Now, coming soon as a status has all the same attributes as all the other statuses. You can search for it under any property type. It's available on the search widget. It has a section under Market Watch, and you can also modify your hot sheet. Also, under my listings, you have my coming soon listings, my office coming soon listings, and my firm coming soon listings, just as the other statuses. Okay. Now, one thing you want to do is you want to make sure that you read the new articles out about coming soon. If you're not familiar with it, make sure you read them all. One of the big things, and I'm not going to go over the forms or any of the policies, that's something for you to read and take care of. This is just a quick tutorial on how to add a coming soon listing. And one of the big things is the coming soon submission form needs to be completed and entered when you enter the listing as coming soon into Matrix. Okay, keep that in mind. It needs some information on it, but most importantly, it needs the seller's signature and your signature before you can enter a listing as coming soon. So I'm going to close that out, but just remember, read it. It's right there for you, and it should be available for a number of days coming in the future. So we'll have access to it at any time. So make sure you read that and make sure you have the coming soon submission form available. All right, going on to that, we'll show you how to enter a coming soon listing. Okay, add edit, and this is all the process is all the same as prior to coming soon being added, so you shouldn't have any problem figuring this out. Click on single family form, and we'll start with a blank listing. And right off, you'll see a couple of changes. The first big one is the status tab over here to the left, where the status is incomplete, coming soon, and active available for you to select. And down here on the bottom button bar, you'll no longer see the save as incomplete, and you no longer see the validate button. Okay, this is by design, so just something you might have to get used to. There are a couple of other ways you can validate a listing prior to submitting it, and that would be just to leave out some critical required fields, and then you can validate to see what else has to be done. Okay, you might want to try that when you're doing a coming soon listing, and I'll show you that. Now, also, the incomplete listing is just as it was before. It just doesn't have a separate tab for you to click on to save as incomplete. It's now a status that you have to select and then submit the listing, and it's saved as incomplete for you to come back later on. Now, one thing about the incomplete status, we made the list date blank out when you save it as incomplete. This is to force you to add it in again prior to making it coming soon or active. Okay, it's a little safeguard. Now, active is just what it says. When you submit this as active, all required fields, same thing with the coming soon, all required fields have to be completed for both coming soon and active. But when you hit active and all the required fields are completed, it's going to be live in Matrix and going to be available to push out to IDX sites and so forth. So keep that in mind. IDX is just like before. If you do not save it as incomplete and add your attachments and your images, then when you push it active, you will have to do that after the fact. And it's always nice to have all this stuff together, push it out once, so the images, attachments, and the listing all go out and are available to the general public and the members at the same time. All right, so let's go back over to coming soon. Now, we only added one additional field for coming soon, and that was called the expected active date. And you'll see down here there are some rules that govern the expected active date. The expected active date is only required for the status coming soon. Otherwise, leave blank. Okay, that means you don't need it. You don't need it for incomplete. You don't need it for active. So only for coming soon. And right now we have coming soon status selected, so it is a required field. Now, the expected active date also has some requirements. The expected active date needs to be greater than the list date, less than the expiration date, but can be no more than 30 days greater than the list date. So any day range within that 30-day field, you can use the expected active date. It can't go beyond 30 days, and it can't be, but it can be less than 30 days, but it still has to be greater than the list date. So let's just throw a little example in, and I'm going to show you how you can validate prior to submitting your listing. If you leave the list date, expiration date, and expected active date out, then fill out all the required fields, then hit submit, you come up with a validation error and you know what other fields you might have to complete. So that's just a little way to validate without having the validate button. So let's enter a couple of dates here and we'll see what it means. I'm going to enter today's date, and the expiration date is going to be a few months out. Just arbitrary. I do not have a contract for this, so I'm not going to complete it. The expected active date, now it has to be greater than 131, so I cannot add in 131 in here. It can't be the same date, it has to be greater than. So I'm going to select a date, I'm going to go February 28th. Well, let's do this. Let's go to March, and I'm going to enter March 5th, okay? Now, just for example, I'm going to show you how to validate. Now, we have a lot of fields that are required that aren't entered, so I'm going to hit the submit button, and I'm going to get a whole bunch of exclamation points with the little red circles. But you notice over here, the expected active date, I entered in, it doesn't fall within the requirements. Okay, and you can see here, expected active date is only required for coming soon, and we do have a coming soon status, but you have to follow the rule errors that it has to be greater than the list date, less than the expiration date, and can be no more than 30 days after the list date, okay? And we are definitely beyond the 30 days. So I'm going to go back in here, and I'm going to redo it, and I'm going to select the 28th, click OK, and I'm going to submit once again. And now I have no validation error on the list date, so I'm good to go with a coming soon listing if I want to enter it after I finish all the complete fields. And that's pretty much it. So now what I can do is, since I need the coming soon submission form, prior to it, I'm going to go back here, I'm going to save it as incomplete, and I'm going to submit the listing. And you'll see that it let me submit, because required fields, I don't have any entered in, but I could save it and come back to it later. So now I'm going to go back to my ad edit. I'm going to select the listing is coming soon, and I'm going to select single family as the form, and now you see I'm right back here where I started from, so now I can still go through, finish the required information. I've already submitted my coming soon submission form. Now I can finish it and save it as coming soon with all the required fields in there. And that's pretty much it. If you have any questions regarding this, by all means call tech support. But remember, go back to home page, and I'm going to cancel out of this and cancel back out of that. And I'm going to go home and make sure you read the information about the coming soon listing policy, the submission form, FAQs, and this video that you're watching here will be there as well. Have a great day. Look forward to hearing from you with any comments. You can always call tech support 401-785-9898 option 3. Again, that's 401-785-9898 option 3. Have a great day.